can't squat because I've got bad knees. You don't have bad knees. You just have knees. They're all like that. Everybody thinks that they have some sort of special relationship with the squat, like there's some particular reason that they can't squat. I've got some bad news. You're not special. But I've also got some good news. You're not special. That means that the fix for your squat problems is probably simpler than you think. Generally, the people that tell me that they can't do squats, I get them to full depth squats with good form in the very first session. You should know the details of the squat, but we'll go over it briefly. We need to have our chest up, our spine straight, and our feet flat on the floor. Everybody should know that, but there's some details that you might not know about. When you squat, when you hit the bottom, a couple things want to happen, whether you like it or not. As you're coming up, this wants to happen. Your knees want to cave in. This is one detail that people get wrong, especially when they can get kind of low, but maybe they're a little weak or deconditioned. Their knees start to cave in and maybe go forward. We need to hold our knees out. And that's one that I tell people, you have to consciously do this. A lot of times I'm saying knees out, knees out, knees out, and people think I'm kidding. It's a conscious decision. Your knees want to do this, and we want to hold them out like this, right? They want to do this, but we're in charge. We hold them out like this, even though it's hard. And your chest stays up, heels stay flat. Heels stay flat. This is what wants to happen. This is what's supposed to happen. But why does it want to happen? That's the reason you can't squat, particularly if you can't get down to full depth. This is the reason why your body tries to automatically make you do all this shit wrong. This is what it thinks is going to happen. And this might happen. What it thinks, if you do it correctly and you listen to all the cues and you do them all at once, it thinks this is going to happen. And theoretically that could, except for one thing, if that would really happen, like maybe you don't have the mobility to get all the way down there the right way. If that was really going to happen, this is what you would really do. You get down there, you go to come up, and you take a step back. Even with weight, this is what you would naturally do. You're not going to suddenly forget how to straighten your legs because you're falling over backwards. People are so afraid to fall over backwards that they let their body do dumb shit. Like when you get to the bottom, your body wants you to do this. Your body wants you to do this. It wants you to put all your weight forward because you know what's over here. It wants your knees to cave in because you actually get kind of a little bit of an advantage with your balance and a little bit of a mechanical advantage doing this, but we're not working the shit that we're supposed to be working with this exercise. The squat is the king of all exercises. We're trying to build strength in our core and our butt and our legs and really our whole body. A good test of how strong and able-bodied somebody is whether or not they can squat and whether or not they can squat well. Having this happen is infinitely more desirable than any of these other errors. This is okay. This is not a big deal. This does not place undue stress on our knees. This does not reinforce and practice bad squat mechanics. Spine has to be straight. Oh no, I'm going to fall over backwards, except I can still straighten my legs. So what do? How do we get from here upright, up tall? Oh my God, but this is harder. And sometimes as you come up, you hit a little muddy spot right here and it gets harder. And your body wants you to pitch forward to actually make it easier. So you do like this stripper move where we go down and then the butt comes up and then we come up. That's not really right. So how do we fix that? When we hit the bottom, we dwell here, become acquainted with that. Our hip has to get lower than our knees. We have to be below parallel. Hands, you can put them out for balance. I don't really tell people what they have to do with their hands, but we need the chest up, like, oh shit, I'm about to fall over backwards. And then you just stand up. Speaking of, strippers, I call these stripper squats. What we're gonna do is we're gonna squat, and we're not gonna hold on to this, really. We're just gonna use it as a guide. We squat, and then as we go to fall backwards, we can use this to keep us from falling this way, but we don't use it to help us up this way. I just want a light grip. Like I don't have to fight this. I need to become acquainted with this position and figure out how to not let my knees cave in, how to get them back past my toes, how to get my chest up. I need to become acquainted with this, and then gradually, as I get faster, I won't need this. Plus, with this in your face, you can't lean over. It obviously doesn't have to be a power rack. It could be any stable thing that you could hold on to. One thing that I like to tell people is they use like a door jamb. This helps because you can't really hold on to it too tight. You know, you can't really use it that much, and this is in your face, so you can't bend over too much. So we squat all the way down. I use this so I stay upright, engaging my core, flexing everything. Everything should be tight. You should be flexed like, you know, a room full of kindergartners is about to treat you like a piñata and you're not allowed to move. What would you do? You'd flex everything and get ready. Real tight, come up, straight down. Use this to, you know, become acquainted with this position and come up. So maybe that's what's wrong with your squat. That's what's wrong with a lot of people's squats. And generally when I explain it that way to them, you know, they get close to a full depth squat in their very first session. And that's even after saying, but, you know, my knees. You probably don't have problems squatting because of your knees. You probably have problems with your knees because you're not squatting.